Hey guys, Team Vortex Gaming here. I'm Forrest,
I'm Zach.
I'm Brian.
and today we're talking about Dragon King's Awakening.
This is GBT12, the latest set for Vanguard. It features Neonectar, Nubatama, Narukami,
Oracle Think Tank.
Oracle Think Tank, Cray Elemental,
Shadow Paladin.
Yep.
Shadow Paladins, yeah.
buddy.
So we're going to crack this open. It is 16 packs, I
I knew
believe.
Brian was waiting for that one.
Right.
I was waiting for that, man. I love me some Shadow.
It's 16 packs. There's a Force of Will thing in here, I think, for some reason.
I'm fairly certain. I'm fairly.
That's a
ready for
Dragoborn thing. That doesn't matter.
I'm pretty ready for the Battle Sisters.
I'm really
So
ready for,
this is
like,
the inside of the
anything.
box. We'll move that, and then we'll crack open some packs.
Sweet.
Tell me something, man. I'm looking for that.
I'll go ahead and open up the first pack for us.
I'm gonna pull the worst. Everything you said. The worst.
I can imagine you would just do that.
You just like pulling all the god stuff like right after that.
So this pack doesn't really have anything too extravagant in here. It's got the Battle Sister starter, so that's relevant.
Speaking of Battle Sisters,
Speaking of like everything.
this is the first pack I opened from this box, and I did this with the pre-release as well.
I'll put it on the screen. Give me a
Here,
second.
this is one of the main strides that you'll want for the Battle Sisters.
I think Force likes that.
I don't know why, but she just kind of comes out of the packs I open. it's great. I'm sorry, give me a minute.
He's looking up the card.
He's just like, yeah.
So it's
Stillwater.
the Stillwater Festival deity Ichikishima,
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and what it does is you counterblast one, soul blast one. It's an act once per turn. Choose a face down card from your G zone. Same name, so Persona flip it. Draw 2 cards, but it also has another act skill once per turn as well, which requires Generation Break 3 and Oracle. But you choose any face down card in your G zone and turn it face up. Until end of turn, your opponents can't call grade 0s from their hand and G Guardians to guard circle. Now that's not until end of battle. That's till end of turn,
yes,
which
the
is
whole,
rude. Honestly, it's really rude.
It the key thing here is it says until end of turn.
instead of battle.
So
Karma.
when you're going up against this deck, which with the new GBT12 installments to Oracle Think Tank, this clan has gone from tier 3 in the dumpster into tier 1 with like 4 cards coming out.
I
Zach's
still
like
can't
low
believe I
key
pulled
upset
that.
about this too. Like,
No, it's definitely something that needed to happen. It's just they didn't know what to give it to make it
and
powerful.
they gave it something.
So-
They gave it something great.
Clearly, making a card significantly power creeped in comparison to the rest is a good way to do it.
You know what's funny? It's the G Guardians that ruined Oracle Think Tank too.
Right.
And now
And now this one
helping it.
bypasses it. Yeah, it's a good way
We're
to
gonna
do
go on
it.
to like the thing I find important anyway.
Uh-oh.
My clan, Shadow Paladin.
So this is Claret Sword Helheim.
Yeah, it is the most amazing thing ever. It turns shadows into gold, if you ask me.
The good thing.
His ability is to require any GB requirement when he attacks. If your opponent G guards or PGs, so I put a Sentinel onto the guard circle, or if your attack hits, you flip a copy of him. Where if basic card in your G zone, you call it grade 1 or less grade 1 unit from your deck to the battlefield. The key of this is now. There's a bunch of grade 2. There's a grade 2 that came out new set that if you have a Clarence Sword, grade 3 or greater, it counts grade 1 in the deck. And if it's boosted by grade 1, it gets plus 5k. So yeah, Gold Paladin.
The good thing about this card, in comparison to the rest of some of the Shadow Paladin units, this card is not specifically based on the sub archetype of Claret Sword. This card can go on Luard.
Yep.
It can go on Blaster, Revenger.
Which is Lord.
The main thing is that it goes in Luard, and that's the big thing here to focus on with this card.
That's probably what everybody's going to be going for.
So I pulled. We got the starter for Claret. And so the big thing is, once again, for OTT
I
players,
actually got the Stride Fodder for Claret Sword too.
there's a Stride Fodder for Claret Sword. There's also 2 Stride Fodders for Claret Sword.
The best star in the set, I think.
Yeah, well, I'll talk about that in a second. So Claret Sword support, if you're a fan of old Shadow Paladin, you like Claret Sword. They got 2 grade 1s, one of which is Blue Espada Dragon, that you can... What is happening to the computer?
The Stride Fodder on wheels.
is the best thing. Somehow,
It was like glitching out.
is the best thing.
Yeah. So Blue Spotted Dragon. It is a stride fodder under certain circumstances where it retires itself to be a free stride.
Yes.
And then we also have the stride fodder itself. Battle Sisters got a stride fodder, and then there was a reprint of the Narukami stride fodder as well for Narukami players.
Mighty Bolt.
A lot of stride fodders in this set that are very good for the clans that run them. Not much in this pack here. We got a Neo Nectar unit that is not that good.
They
I got,
reprint stuff like stride fires and
The
everything,
Protector Lotus.
but
maybe.
like Zach, like I'm saying, like Forrest, it's weird they like print stride fodders, but they have a lot of stride free abilities now for the grade 3s. A lot.
Well, like Amaruta has a free stride, and then
like all the stuff that's about has a free stride.
So this the Forerunner we were just talking about, the Narukami. This guy is pretty much going to do something for you every turn.
Yeah, he doesn't sit there and just be I'm a you need me.
On Act, you can rest this unit, and your opponent chooses a card from their drop zone and binds it. And if they cannot, you counter charge 1, you damage flip 1, and then you choose one of your units with Thunderstrike, and they get +3 until the end of turn. Also, he has Thunderstrike 4, counterblast 1 and put this unit into your soul. Choose one of your units, and it gets +3 until the end of turn. Your opponent chooses one of his or her rear guards, retires it, and then binds it face up.
They have separated themselves from Kagero entirely now, I think, because no more retire bind. They bind from drop now. That's it.
The big thing for Narukami, Vanquisher was always decent, but with this starter and the other units for Narukami, they particularly target the graveyard, which is very impactful to Granblue players that need their graveyard to do anything in terms of hollow or to bring back or damage flip or draw, and they don't have that graveyard anymore.
And personally, you also have graveyard. There's no way you cannot have graveyard and Vanguard.
Yeah, and they eradicate your graveyard, which Eradicators is a thing in the set too, conveniently, to make a joke.
I got a G guard over here for Battle Sisters.
I got another support for Battle
This is this is the G guard. You run like 2 of this guy in your deck. Forrest, I think you know a little bit more about this card.
Yeah, I think I have it written down as 2 because then you run an older one as well.
Yeah, the older G guards are a little bit better, but they're still not too bad.
Ichibi-Yoshi. But yeah, it's auto counterblast 1. When this unit is placed on guard circle, you may pay the cost if you do draw a card. Reveal the top card from your deck, and if the revealed card is grade 1 or greater, this unit gets a +5k shield until the end of battle. You may put the revealed card on the bottom of your deck. Pretty much it's sticking to what OTT used to do in the past. Look at the top of your deck, and then just look through your entire deck, pretty much. That's pretty good what you just flashed.
Right. Yeah. So to talk about some things, we're gonna start on the more gentle approach here.
Before this is backstory. Just a little backstory. The card that we just got, I need, and I'm very happy now.
So for new Batama players out there, you recently got a lot of love in the Dominate archetype. This unit that we just got is a grade 2, Stealth Dragon Ungai. He has the auto skill of you can choose a card from your hand and discard it when your dominated unit attacks, and then if you do that, you draw a card, but it loses it after the once per turn marker of the effect. But also, when he is placed on Rearguard Circle until the end of turn, keep in mind, until end of turn, you choose 2 units, and they are increased in power or decreased in power to 11,000 consistently until end of turn. So defensive triggers are no longer an issue on the Dominate turns, which is what countered this mechanic so easily.
I actually experienced this today.
Yeah, this card's pretty tough.
GG?
Yeah, no, it was super rough.
It's pretty tough.
I actually got a draw trigger on his turn when he was attacking me, and then he's like, all right, counterblast. No, that goes away. And I was like, wait, what?
Ungai comes in and says no to that draw trigger.
It was
situationally,
rude.
You got a grade 1 here. Stealth Beast, a lot of Asian stuff. When this unit is placed on Vanguard or Rear Guard, you can bind up to 2 cards from the top of your deck.
Was this the one you were looking for earlier?
Face down. It's kind of situational.
Okay.
So the big thing about this guy is when a dominating unit attacks only once per turn, you can take one of these binded cards and put them into your hand. And if you do, this unit gets +5 until the end of turn. There's a grade 2 that has a similar effect.
Was that the one you were looking for?
He gets 10k off of the top. There's the boss unit. But anyways, this is more situational for the new Batama players. It's an okay card at best. I don't like the idea of binding all your cards because if they kill the unit, you cannot get the binded cards back until you have another binded card or one of these units out. So honestly, we're going to move on to the card that matters here. This is Chrono Dragon Gear Next.
Whew, there it is.
So once per turn, GB2, Soul Blast 1 and choose a face card with the same name as this unit from your G zone and flip it face up. It gets auto Vanguard Circle once per turn. At the end of the battle that this unit attacked, if your heart card is a Gear Dragon,
Which is always going to be one.
reveal at the or up to 3 Zodiac Time Beasts.
Yep. In your hand or rear guard.
In your hand or rear guard, and put them into bind.
Put them on the bottom.
Put them on the bottom of the deck,
And
and then it restands
-2 drive.
with -2 drive, but
Plus the key, GB4.
he has a GB4 ability. Is during this unit's second battle, it gets plus 10,000 and drive +1. So under normal circumstances, this card is going to only have one a drive two drive.
Yes, but
It'll be a twin drive grade 3, but then at the same time on GB4 it goes up to drive +1, so you're netting 5 cards with this card instead of
the key I was talking
2.
about was that once
sounds
card
nice.
came out with that fact you can use Gear Groovy to copy both.
Yep.
And then
Gear
you have
Groovy-
both abilities.
For Gear Chronicle players out there, you know Gear Groovy.
Abuse it.
He's your boy. He takes the abilities of your strides,
Go forth, my children. Abuse it.
and now Gear Next is your new toy. So Gear Groovy, which has always been considered a situational stride, is probably going to be a must-have now with this guy in
It's
deck.
definitely now because you can stand
He's
on
really
twice,
good.
it's horrifying.
He's really, really good.
So we talked
I-
about what would happen.
Let's talk about Battle Sisters next.
Yeah, we got a boss
Okay.
unit here. So Forrest, we pulled your boss unit. This is for OTT players looking to play
Oh,
Just
the Battle Sister deck. Florentine is your go-to ride. This is your new boss unit
just
for
need three
OTT. If you want to go ahead,
more.
talk
Just
about the
need
card.
3 more of it. So it's got the auto when placed on Vanguard Circle. Look at the top card of your deck and put it onto the top or bottom of your deck. Again, the look through your deck and put it on the bottom until you've gone completely through your deck. Pretty much. That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
But it also has the Counterblast 1 card with Battle Sister in its card name, which is going to be kind of hard not to do with this deck.
Most of the cards
Considering
are.
the only card in the deck really is that without Battle Sister in its
Is a
name
trigger.
is Psychic Bird.
It's a trigger, yeah.
When you G-Stride, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at 2 cards from the top of your deck, put a card into your hand, put a card on top or bottom of your deck, choose one of your Vanguards, and until end of turn, it gets continuous Vanguard Circle. All of your rear guards with Battle Sister in their card name get power plus 3,000. So it's pretty
Sorry, a little bit.
it's pretty good. The other one that's recommended is Madeline.
The older one, yeah.
Yes.
I love that cartoon.
But we were talking earlier about what we were gonna do if we pulled this.
So,
Zach, you promised me.
the stride unit, Shiranui Mukuro. This is the new Batama Shiranui stride. He finally got his stride
He's
form.
very happy, ladies and gentlemen. He's a very close individual.
So this is a rather unique stride unit because if you're a fan of the anime, you watch this utterly in cave alt mile, and the premise of it being brought out.
It was so bad.
So this thing Soul Blast 2, and you choose any face down card from your G zone and flip it face up. By the way, it's only locked behind GB2 on this card.
That's really
You stand their Vanguard, and you attack with their Vanguard onto all of their rear guards.
The key to this, though, is you drive check. Not that.
But they drive check 2 cards off of your deck. You drive check with your deck, but the effects are their Vanguard's attacking, so you get a twin drive off of their Vanguard.
Yes, and
And then you attack with yours, and you get 3 more. So this is kind of similar to the Gear Next play, but you're literally killing all their rear guards because they don't have a Vanguard to guard with. So they cannot guard their rear guards by ruling when this happens.
They all die.
They all die.
Resisting.
Now, there is one thing to remember for people that are rather paranoid of this archetype. There are people out there that are generally concerned about Dominate ruining the game.
We're sure got you. We promise.
This card is not that broken. If you have any old units that are decent in your clan that have the ability Lord, if you remember how old that is,
Galaxy
So-
Black Ogre.
Lord units state that if a rearguard on your circles is not from the clan that they are, they cannot attack with their vanguard. Meaning that if Shiranui Mukuro dominates a Lord unit, it cannot attack their rearguards because you yourself do not have a rearguard of their clan.
You said this was already confirmed.
Yes, there was an email sent to them, and Bushiro clarified this ruling. And also, there was a lot of Reddit posts about it because, like I said, people are very concerned about the dominate key phrase.
It's kind of a new thing that people.
It's very new, and it's very odd in comparison to the rest of the game.
I mean, yeah, honestly, they don't take your stuff and get boosted.
No, but in all actuality, most people can not really be that afraid of losing their rearguard columns because they'll probably just get them back. In all honesty. There are clans that can handle this fine. I mean, Pale Moon is fine against this because there is no rear guards. A lot of Grand Blue is not afraid of it because once again they're graveyard safe. So
wasn't that what the Shiranui is for?
What?
The getting stuff from your.
Well, you have the Ride Phase or Furai to bring units, but it's only 2.
Yeah.
So once again, this is more focused at clans that actually have rearguard columns.
Which those
this is looking at Aquaforce.
I mean, no matter what you do, you still get the buff.
Yeah.
You get the trigger.
This is looking at Aquaforce. This is looking at Golds, Shadows, Royals. The decks that are actually relevant for the most part in the meta right now, it's looking at them. Not really anything that's considered rogue like Pale Moon.
I've noticed it's hard to play against that.
This is a pretty neat card, honestly. But like I said, keep in mind, Lord units will keep you safe.
You do a challenge, honestly. Yeah.
Here's some of the Claret support.
So this is what we were talking about before. This is the blue Espada Dragon that we mentioned.
I actually really like the art for that.
This is a stride for free outside of your stride fodder. Basically, Claret Sword has 2 stride fodders. This reminds me a lot of the DI build. They have a stride fodder, and they also have Were Tiger Jaeger, which also allows you to stride for free.
Oh, man.
So this is very similar, but this card is nowhere near as powerful as Were Tiger Jaeger is. But it's still...
This man's the guy who plays play always not powerful.
No, I'm just letting you know, Were Tiger Jaeger is the most broken grade 1 in the game right now. It's so dumb. It doesn't... It has 3 skills, Brian.
It's the best stride fodder, I say.
I got some more
best stride fodder in the game.
I actually haven't read this card.
I will give you that. It's the best stride fodder in the game.
Either.
Don't forget that grade 2, though. That grade 2 I talked about, we're now gold paladins, man. We're that good.
Smashbox?
We them boys.
Morian Spear Dragon.
We them boys.
From deck, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Claret Sword Dragon in its card name, this card gets grade -1, so it's searchable.
And if you boost by a grade 1, which you use your owl, which has a plus 4K when it's called, you get a 5K boost as well.
Until the end of battle to your 9K rear guard, so it's a 14, 26. That's a 25 column before checks. But also, this is just outright just 25 by itself, unless
you get triggers.
You add triggers to it.
So the point is, after you tap with your rear guards, you swing with them. They will normally guard it. If it hits, you call from the deck. Remember, if they guard PG you as you're attacking, you don't check first. You search for the cards first, then you check. But if you hit, you have to check first. Then you call.
So for Neonectar players that would be looking for cards that we would mention, we didn't pull the card. Actually, I think we did. That works conveniently. Maiden of Fertility, Governing Lily. This is pretty much the only Neonectar card I would say that actually really matters in this set if you already have the deck built. This card states, you choose a face-down card from your G-Zone and turn it face up. When this unit attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, reveal up to the same number of cards from the top of your deck as the number of cards on your Vanguard or Rearguard and face-up cards on your G-Zone with Maiden of in their card names. You choose up to 5 cards from the same card names as any of your units with Maiden of in their card names from among them and call them to separate Rearguards. So this isn't the exact one I was talking about, but this card's still pretty good in the Maiden of deck.
I can see it set up maybe before, but
well, the one we're talking about is the one where all cards in your soul have the same name.
Where it gains the same name as all.
Yeah, which that is a Bloom card. Bloom is a little bit separate than the Maiden of mechanic.
Do you remember its name?
The card that we're talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know if we pulled it. We might have.
What's it called again?
I thought it was like a triple rare stride unit for Neonectar that we're referring to. Or was it this one?
Is it
I think it's that
Yggdrasil?
one. So I have the G guard over here. That's fine.
The G guard's not the one we're talking about, though.
I don't think we pulled it yet.
No.
Yeah, so we don't
not
have
from
we
this
didn't pull the card directly, but there is a stride unit for Neonectar in this set that
Here, let me find it.
it states on the card that it all cards in your soul gain the unit itself gains the names of all the cards in your soul. So if you're like soul blasting, calling, or just searching cards, it's a good way to set up your deck
Was it
really
Midsummer
fast.
Flower Princess Lieta?
It might be that one.
Okay, so act once per turn, counterblast 1. Choose a face down card from your G zone with the same card name as this unit and turn it face up. So persona flip. Choose up to one card from your hand, put it into your soul, and this unit gets the same card names as all cards in your soul. Search your deck for up to a number of cards with the same card names as this unit equal to 1 plus the number of face up cards in your G zone. Call them to separate rearguard circles and shuffle your deck. If the number of face-up cards in your G zone is 2 or more, choose 3 of your units and they get power plus 3k
I don't know if that's it.
until end of turn. Yeah, that's it.
It is? Okay. Yeah, so it's all around pretty good. This guy that you actually threw at me is pretty good. Continuous rearguard circle. During the battle that this unit boosted a unit with Thunderstrike, that unit and this unit cannot be targeted by your opponent's cards. So pseudo resist on a Narukami card is always a good
It's
thing.
kind of redundant if you ask me.
It's pretty good.
I like how they
But
worded
also it has another ability of Thunderstrike 3, which means you got to have 3 cards in their bind face up from your effects. When this unit boosted at the end of the battle, you could put it into your soul. Yeah, you put it into your soul. And then if you have a Vanguard with Vanquisher and its card name, you draw a card and damage flip 1. So all around, this is a really good grade 1, actually. Like, really good grade 1. Which ones are these? Well, there's a G-Guard here. And then Narukami grade 2.
It's the Neo G Guard.
Sacred Tree Dragon, Rainbow Cycle Dragon. You choose 2 normal units with the same card name from your drop zone and put them on the bottom of your deck in any order. When this unit is put face up into your G zone, you may pay the cost. If you do, turn this card face down. Turn it face down.
So it goes back. What?
All right, so as far as I can tell, there is a ruling that there's a way to bypass rulings on G-Guards.
Yeah.
If you have 4 face-up G-Guards, you cannot G-Guard again, as far as I understand the ruling is. I could be wrong on this, and if I'm wrong, then don't crucify me. But this card, it's a G-Guard for free.
It goes back?
Yeah, it flips itself back
Not
down.
for free because you can't get triggers back.
Well,
No, but
it goes back.
essentially it replenishes itself back, which is kind of harmful to a GB8 rush if you were trying to go for flip units.
But it's also not that it doesn't add power to itself at all.
No, it doesn't add power to itself, but you choose 2 normal units from your drop zone and put them on the bottom of your deck. So this replenishes bloom.
Like recycling things you need.
Yeah, this recycles stuff.
That's not bad.
It's
actually.
neat. I think it could be a one-of if you really want to just have a simple guard off of like a rather weak rear guard column.
Well, it could be useful too, especially if something you need is in drop zone now.
Which is very common. Neonectar has a lot of it recursions around a lot of cards.
understandable.
Plasmatron Dragon. I actually have not read this card before. It's got Thunderstrike 4.
Counterblast or Soul Blast gets plus 2k for every face up, for every card in the bind zone.
Okay. And then when this unit is placed on rear guard, your opponent chooses a card from his or her drop and binds it. Okay, so it's an automatic bind, so they could be a Thunderstrike 3, and then it sets itself up into Thunderstrike 4. And it gets itself 2k for every card. So automatically with the Thunderstrike 4 proc, it gets 8,000 to its power. So it's a 17k grade 2 for Counterblast 1.
Okay, so that would then allow it to do its act.
Yeah, which would be the Counterblast 1, and then it would gain power.
Interesting.
I mean, I think Narukami is going to be a really good deck.
That's what
we sadly didn't pull a Vanquisher, which I pulled in the draft, but the Vanquisher sparking... during your ride phase, you could choose to either damage flip or soul charge, I think is what it says. Or it's something along the lines of replenishing your units that you need for your effects. And when you stride, you bind, I think, and then like there's something else. I can't remember what the card does, but
Narukami's looking really good.
Yeah, Narukami's got actually there's a card right there that is a reprint that matters. Or not, it's not a reprint, but the grade 2 that you're holding. Is it a reprint?
Yes, it's been before.
So, Demonic Dragon Berserker Chitora. This unit cannot attack a rear guard, but During your turn, this unit gets plus 3,000. And auto rearguard circle, counterblast 1. When this unit's attack hits a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, you draw a card, choose a card from your opponent's drop zone, and bind it.
I haven't looked at current list in our county, but that used to be a staple in the old days, honestly. It used to be a staple in our county.
People still run it.
I believe it.
Because it's automatic plus 3, so there's no... The difference between Plasmatron and this guy is that this counterblast doesn't apply the power. It's automatic 3.
It's after it hits.
But this guy does the binding for free.
Which is always
behind a GB1 lock. There is a slight difference. Like, I can see... These cards are probably designed very similarly. Like, they took this old version of, like, what Narukami used to be, right? And then they turned Plasmatron Dragon into, like, a current era.
What it could be.
Grade 2 with Thunderstrike mattering.
Okay.
So, I kind of see where they went. Yeah, the other grade 2 that we pulled, it's a common. That card is also being played.
Are you talking about this one?
It's the one. It's like a human.
Yeah,
it's a human dude. That guy.
The tracking eradicator?
Yeah. So this is probably the last card we're going to talk about because there's really not that many that we pulled that matter. We pulled the stuff that's good, that's worth talking about. Tracking eradicator. So this guy's an eradicator unit. To bring up that actually deck build, a lot of Narukami players that I've seen are building Vanquisher with Eradicator Sigma in the deck.
I heard about that.
Which Eradicator Sigma is the grade 3 that we didn't pull either. It's Sparking, and then Eradicator Sigma is also in this block of cards. Eradicator Doku Kakuji. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have a Vanguard with Eradicator in its card name, this unit gets +2 until the end of that battle. And then Rearguard counterblast 1 at the end of the battle that your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Eradicator in its card name attacked. If the attack did not hit, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your Vanguards, and that unit gets +5 until the end of turn. So the big thing about this build is Vanquishers and Eradicators are kind of in tandem in some builds. Specifically, Eradicator Sigma is not a bad alternate because Draconic Vanquisher Original is not as, like, nowhere near as good as Sparking. So, honestly, you could do Sparking with...
Sparking and Sigma.
I try to use these 2 grade 3s that help you out your deck.
Yeah.
Like my Lord build, I use, like, Lord, and I use grade 3 that actually helps me get columns and out of there. I feel like that's the better option.
The all-around upside to it is kind of no matter where you go on grade 3, a lot of your cards are going to do something.
You'll put pressure.
Because their skills usually state if a Vanguard requires Vanquisher, most of your Stride units are Draconic Vanquisher like VMAX or
I'm gonna go ahead and ask you a question.
Right.
I can't remember. For the pre-release, did you actually pull the Sparking and the Stride?
No, I pulled Sparking.
Okay.
I pulled strictly Sparking, and then we did not pull the new Stride unit's VMAX. V-Buster, that's the new Stride unit.
VMAX, I believe, is the one that...
But we didn't pull those cards, so...
The newest Stride, I do like him. I wish to talk about it a little bit, though. His ability up, there's like 7.
Are you talking about V-Buster?
V-Buster is the late game guy.
Generation Break 3, Thunderstrike 7. All of your units in the front row get plus 5k attack power. And this unit gets plus 1 critical and plus 1 drive. Okay.
Same as Stretch Rider, I think. Plus crit, plus 1
wow.
Yeah.
And it also has an act once per turn. Soul Blast 1. Choose a face down card from your G zone. So Persona Flip. Your opponent chooses one of his or her rear guards and 1 card from his or her drop zone and binds them face up. So immediately that's 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you put the pressure on, so you have the zone for 7 and 9.
Oh, okay.
You put pressure.
Binds them face up. If the number of rear guards is greater than the number of your opponent's rear guards, choose up to 3 of your units and they get plus 3k until end.
Yeah, I think my worst matchup, I think, honestly.
Narukami is really hard to deal with.
That's my worst matchup.
It's sounding pretty rough.
I've been going up against it on Cardfight area, and it's a very popular deck online right now. People love the starter. They love the deck. It's Narukami brought back with a big-time vengeance. They knew what it needed, and they gave it exactly what it needed to not be broken. But in matchups where it suffered, it doesn't suffer anymore. Like...
Against Luard, it pushed pressure against Granblue.
It destroys Granblue. I mean, Granblue, since these cards have been revealed in Japan, Granblue is no longer hitting top 3.
anything.
It
without
is hitting
visas.
top 8,
Top 8, definitely.
but there are a lot of tournaments right now where it's not even in because people have switched over to like what's still tier 1 consistently. Like you got like Genesis and then
Wise Man Luke.
Luard.
I don't know what it is. Wise Man
It's
Luke.
Wise Man, not
That's
Tenor.
all it is.
So
I've gotten stuck
I
in
think
that loop.
I think we're good. Guys.
yeah, to give like a final roundabout of the set,
I like the set honestly. It came with some good things.
it's got some really powerful cards in it
brought it back to the
for.
brink of being crap.
It
I
did.
mean, that's all I could say.
And the thing is, I really like OTT,
Yeah, same.
and it's really heartwarming to see that it's coming back.
The one thing that people were always concerned about online was that Bushiroad had lost the ability to bring a clan back from pre-G.
I think someone just said challenge accepted it.
That mattered, you know.
That answers that right there.
And
they did.
OTT, I think until just now, it did not have a G era subclan. Like Tsukiyomi was still a thing, but that's old.
Really, everything.
And I mean, people.
Susanoo.
Yeah, Susanoo, which was a G era unit, but it just wasn't. It wasn't enough, you know. Like G guards were still powerful. Stride units for OTT weren't powerful enough, and then they made this, and it's fine. So OTT is really strong. If you are an Arakami fan, put a smile on your face.
You're coming back.
You're coming back.
If you play Shadow Paladins, you were spoiled to begin with, and they're spoiling you some more. And if you're Gear Chronicle,
there's nothing wrong.
And if you're a Gear Chronicle fan, you've been spoiled since G era started, and you're getting more. So
thank you, Chrono. Thank you so much.
You're still triple critting out the rear end.
Get over it.
So, anyways, that is it for us. That is GBT12.
That was
It's a good box, actually. There was a lot of good rares in it. We pulled, I believe, every card besides like the major boss units for Narukami.
Yeah,
like we didn't pull like some of the Gear Chronicle. Well, we didn't pull Dragshot or Luard, but I mean, he does things. He makes it to where you can't
PG.
You can't PG him, and he goes crit. Yeah.
Ritual 7.
And we pretty much pulled everything for OTT.
Yeah,
So, yep. We pulled the boss unit and everything else. So that's GBT12. It comes out tomorrow, October 13th, at whatever store you're going to. Come here.
We'll be here.
Yeah. Seriously.
So make sure to stop by if you want to buy anything like that. And wherever else you're located, make sure you buy some.
And
that is everything. Thank you for watching.
Just me. I'm calling you.
You're calling?
Right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that was too long. How long was it?
No, I'm at the car show. You bringing money?
Hey, James.
Yeah.
Did it not record?
You didn't start recording.
All right.
It's on pause. It's on pause. After all that.
You're going to like the box, though. It's a good box.
Yeah?
Gear Dragon, the first
pack
rare
I
was
opened up.
Ichishiki Hime, the OTT guy.
Pack I opened up.
Nice.
We pulled a Gear Dragon, we pulled Shirano
I
Mukuro.
will buy it from you.
Nice.
No, we're trolling you, James. We're trolling you, James. So how long was the
Hold on to
video?
it. Show them the things.
Stop it.
Hold on to it. I will buy it from you.
Hold on to what?
The Gear Next and the